Yep. Okay, hair check. Put it on. This is really awkward. Well, welcome back everybody. This is Madeline from Rosano's Casa. Today we are making a winter warmer. It is a soup and it is Chinese chicken and corn soup. I love this recipe. I'm not the original creator of it, but I've tweaked it a little bit. I will link the recipe below for you so that you can make it at home. I love Chinese chicken and corn soup. Ever since I was a child, always, whenever I went to a Chinese restaurant, I would always order it. I love it so much. I feel like I've had my fair share of Chinese chicken and corn soup, so much so that every time I try to create it at home, just never tasted the same. This is probably the best, better than takeaway Chinese chicken and corn soup recipe. Like I said, it's not my original one. It's not quite Nigella's. I've tweaked it a little bit. I'll link it all before, reference it, all that jazz for you, because you have to make it. And I've seen a lot of recipes made at home, and not saying that they're bad, I just don't feel like they're as good as the takeaway version. This is up there. I'm calling the shot, so it's up to you guys. Make it at home. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you are loving these recipes. Anyway, we will get cracking onto it. First things first. Okay, I will link the recipe below. There is a little print recipe that you can always print off at home if you like a hard copy, screenshot it, all that jazz off the website. And you can leave me a star review as well if you like. Minimal ingredients, comes together in no time, and somehow or another this video will be 20 minutes plus, so you can fast forward 100 times. Anyway, I have got a pot of chicken stock boiling. So I'm going to bring it up to the boil, and then we're going to reduce the heat. First things first. There is 8 cups of chicken stock in there. You can use water with stock powder. You can make your own stock. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. 8 cups, 2 litres, whatever it is. So that's boiling while we are going to prepare. I'll run through the ingredients with you, and then we're going to prep the chicken, and it comes together no time. Love soup. Always have a soup in the fridge in winter. Standby, especially if you're someone who doesn't really take the time out to have lunch like me, so it's ready to go in the fridge. All right, let's flip the camera around, run through the ingredients. While that's boiling, and get cracking. I'm going to try and make this video quick. All right, I have some spring onions. This is probably not traditional. I like the addition of it in the soup, so I'm going to finely dice them on an angle just because it will look pretty. We have 500 grams of, I'm using chicken tenderloin, so the tender part of the breast. Otherwise, you could use the breast. I've just chopped them into 2 centimeter cubes, so nice and easy. We have corn flour or corn starch. I'm going to dissolve some of this in water. So what we're going to do, we're going to dissolve 4 tablespoons of cornstarch with cold water. Do not do it with hot water. And then when the stock has come to a boil, we're going to mix that through. There is some sesame oil. There is 2 eggs, which we'll add last minute. Then we have cream of corn, corn kernels. I'm going to drain that and rinse the corn kernels off really well. We have cornstarch, salt, and some sugar. So I'm going to first thing put the cornstarch, salt, and sugar in with the chicken. We're going to add this last minute, and it'll come together in no time. First things first, stock is coming to the boil. Let's put our spring onions aside with our corn flour. Chicken, we have cubed them. I like to kind of cube them in 2 centimeter cubes purely because when you're eating some soup with thing, you don't want a whole chunk of chicken coming at you. So we have some corn flour, sugar, and salt. I am going to marinate. I'm going to coat the chicken with this while the stock is coming up to a boil. This is going to help thicken up the soup. And what I like, and I implemented this in my other recipe on my website, my brown rice chicken congee soup, we don't fry off the chicken first. We add the chicken to the soup at the end, in the last stages of it. It poaches it really nicely, it doesn't overcook it, and it leaves it really nice and tender. So chicken is, but look at that, it's all come together. I'll show you a little trick onto adding this to the soup later, just otherwise we don't want to just pour it into the soup like that. It's just going to cook like a ball. It's disgusting. So going to put this aside. All right. And then we are going to rinse off our corn kernels, slice up our spring onions. This is coming to the boil very quickly. And then it's going to come together in like no time. We have our stock that's come up to the boil. I am going to make our little corn flour slurry, cold water. So about double the amount. So I'm adding 4 tablespoons of corn flour, about 8 tablespoons of cold water. I cannot express enough cold water. Can't tell you enough how many times I have added accidentally warm water and it just goes like glue. As you can see, just with a fork, incorporate that. I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to go bird's eye view over the pot and I'm going to show you how it comes together super duper quickly. Our stock has come to the boil, so I've reduced the heat all the way to low. I'm going to add in that corn flour slurry as such. Give it a little bit of a mix. All right, and then we're going to go in with our tin of creamed corn. Why these lids never come off properly. You could make your own creamed corn, however you like it, blitzing it up, but to be honest with you, this is fantastic. I know some people might be looking at this going, ew, looks like slop. It's delicious, I promise. So we're going to go in with that. Let's give it a little bit of a mix, okay? It's all going to come together. It's going to thicken up a charm. I'm going to add in my corn kernels that I have rinsed and drained. Okay. I'm going to let it simmer for just a little bit before we add in our chicken. And then we'll add in our little egg mixture. I'll show you how that's done. I'm one of these people that wears gloves. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of chicken at a time and add it into the soup without splashing me in the eyeballs. Reason being, if I completely pour this in like that, it is going to just clump all together. And we want the chicken pieces to be distributed equally. So I'm just going to add this amount. Okay, give it a little bit of a stir just to make sure that they separate. This way of cooking the chicken in a soup gives it that kind of tender, poached finish and taste. I love it so much. I started adding that to all my kind of Asian soup creations that I do. So credit to Not Quite Nigella for teaching me that. All right, we'll add in the rest, okay, and then I'll come back while the chicken, this will only take literally a few minutes to cook. As you can see, look how tiny the pieces are. They won't take long at all. I'm going to make the egg mixture. By the time that the chicken has cooked through, it will be ready to add the egg. To a small bowl, 2 eggs, whole eggs. I've seen some recipes just use whites. I don't know if that's traditional or not. I love using the whole egg. We are going to add 2 teaspoons, about 1 or 2 teaspoons of sugar to the eggs. Okay, I'm going to add in some sesame oil, optional. 2 teaspoons or so. If you like more, add more. If you like less, don't like it, leave it out. Let's add in some white pepper. I love white pepper. Let's give this a beat, a little bit of a beat before we're going to add this into the soup mixture. All right, let's see how this, just keep stirring it every now and then. I've got it on a very low simmer. Can you see how it's thickening up beautifully? It will like thicken up over time a little bit, but look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to trickle this egg mixture in shortly. Let's go in with our egg mixture. I'm just going to trickle it in and you're going to mix it just so we get those really nice egg curds. Okay. Beautiful. Look at that. You can see it straight away. If you do not like egg or have any allergies to eggs, just keep it out. But if you don't, I promise you the addition, it's not really a chicken and corn soup without it. I'm going to add in spring onions. This was not in the original recipe. I love it, and I love lots of it. It's optional if someone's watching and they're like, yeah, no, then don't add it. I love it. I'm going to give this a little bit of a taste. Let's have a look. I feel like it might need a little bit more salt. Yeah, just a touch. Touch of salt. Add a little bit more white pepper. You could add, when you're serving this, you could add more sesame oil to the bowl and some more spring onions, or you can leave the spring onions on the side and not add them in at this stage and just serve them on the side for anyone who might like it as an optional dish. And that's literally it. It's like I'm just going to let it simmer for a little bit longer to thicken up a little bit, but that's it. Like, how easy, minimal ingredients, a lot of pantry staples. I always have, corn, cream of corn during winter time in the pantry to have on standby. If you don't have stock, you could use stock powder. I think in some restaurants I use crab meat instead of chicken. That's optional. You can leave the chicken out to make it a completely vegetarian option. You could swap out the chicken stock for vegetable stock. Anyway, this is a really good, better than takeaway recipe. I really encourage you to make it. We'll flip the camera around and do an outro. I can't wait to hear your feedback on this one. There you have it, like one of the quickest soup recipes that I make. It is delicious. You could, like I said, serve this with a bit of extra sesame oil on top. Boy, it's steamy. Come, have a look at that. The texture, the consistency is nice and thick. It will thicken a little bit more as it settles, but it's perfect. The chicken is nice and poached and tender. It is not overcooked at all. Anyway, that is it. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all the things. Full recipe is on my website. I will link it below for you guys because you have to make it. You can leave me a star rating over on my website and just let me know what you think, guys. It is delicious. I hope you enjoy it as much as I love it. This soup is on replay every single winter. It is literally better than takeaway. Anyway, over and out. Till next time. Bye. I'm going to say the hardest part of this recipe is waiting for it to cool down. Just can't wait. It's worth burning your mouth over as well. Look at it. Little chicken pieces. Oh! Oh! It serves me right for my waiting. All right, anyway, enjoy. Go make it. Bye.